Folks, look at this. Look at this bike. Look at those pipes. Oh man, I am so excited. Today we're here, Robin Hood Harley-Davidson in Nottingham. And we're about to take out this 1868cc, 114 cubic inch Harley-Davidson Fat Bob. Come in 149, your time is up. Let's do this. Keyless ignition. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm going to ride this bike. So this is stage 2 as well apparently, so it's got the pipes on it, which is pipes and the air filter. This air filter make it stage 1 I believe. Oh god, I feel so cool just sitting on it. Jesus Christ, what am I doing? So foot forward position, as you know, not a fan. However, how much fuel? Half a tank. Wow, what a pussycat. What a pussycat as the working dogs in transit van comes past me. I've been so looking forward to this ride. Jesus, this is an occasion. I haven't even got it off the forecourt. Let's go. I tell you, the first thing I've noticed about it is how easy it feels. I've just realised I've forgotten to put my 360 on. I've been so excited. Actually, this foot forward position on this bike doesn't feel bad. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. What a beast. It's just super impressive, this. That noise. Wow. Yeah, it's not got a massive amount of horsepower, but it's missing the point if you're focused on horsepower with this bike. It's not about the horsepower, it's about the torque. 155 newton meters of torque. When you compare that to the Bobber, which is also, you know, all about the torque, that bike has 106 newton meters. You know, there's a big difference there. I'll tell you what as well, just hitting the bumps now, this suspension, it's the same style of bike, it's very similar seating position, but the suspension on this just feels very, very plush. It feels lovely. I love the Bobber, but that suspension, I mean, rudimentary was the word I used. I think this is another bike as well where, because of that torque, I'm not going to be changing gear that much. The gearbox is super slick. I'd heard that Harley-Davidson gearboxes were a bit agricultural, but this one, it feels really slick. I've been out literally 5 minutes and already I'm very impressed. So we're going to head out to where this bike really should be, which is out in the countryside on the open roads. I mean, in traffic as I am now, it's really easy to manage. You know, all that power and all that weight, it's just really not an issue. Oh, that sound is just, it sounds like a Harley-Davidson should. So they took the stock exhaust off and they put this, I'll show you it in a bit when I do the walk around. So it's two individual side-by-side exhausts, shortened, and man does it sound good. So I was talking to Paul from Harley-Davidson. He was telling me that this is a stage 2 equipped bike, which means it's got the exhaust on it and the air filter, which makes it stage 1, and then with the it's got different cams in it as well, which makes it stage 2. And this one is in this beautiful black colour. So this is the base colour. This is what I'd go for, I think. I love this colour. Again, I'll show you. You know, hitting the bumps on this, it's a completely different story to hitting the bumps on the Triumph. Triumph really need to work on that suspension setup on that bobber, because it's brutally rudimentary. Look at that power on tap, overtaking an absolute doddle, and it is such a smooth ride. I'm going to nod at everybody. I know Harley-Davidson riders don't normally nod at people, but I'm going to book that trend today. You're going to get waved at if you're on two wheels, waved at or nodded at the very least. So this is the Milwaukee 8 engine, and the 8 is for the amount of valves that it has. It's a V-twin, and as I've said, it's 1868 cc. It's exceeded expectations already. I totally get it now. Totally get it. That looks like a fat bob as well. What do I know? Like I'm a Harley expert now. Neutral, not difficult to find. And it's like I say, the gearbox is nice. It's nice and smooth. It's not what I expected. I dare say that's not true for all Harley-Davidsons, but this one, they've got it sorted. So these the Fat Bobs first came out in around 2008, I believe. There was a massive revamp in 2018, and I think they changed just about everything on the bike. And then this is brand new for 2022. Everything about this bike is sorted for 2022. It's all new for 22. And I know that I cocked up with, so the bobber, I kept saying it was 2022 on the, I think in the written literature that I put out. It was actually 2021 when that was redone. I think I kept saying 2022 in the video, but it is 2021, that bike. This is 2022. Definitely got it right this time. It's difficult when you're out on the road and you're trying to, you know, remember all this stuff while you're sitting, riding, concentrating on what you're doing on a new-to-you bike. I love these bars as well. Flat bars. The seating position is super comfortable. So this is another seat that cups your bottom. So the reach as well, you can see that my elbows are a little bit bent, and I'm sitting pretty much bolt upright, but I'm not getting that jarring sensation through the back that you get on a lot of these foot forward type bikes. I got it on the Rocket as well, you know. What else, the Speedmaster. Yeah, that is a horrible sensation. I don't know whether that's, you know, Triumph, because I'm not getting it with this one, not yet anyway. I think, you know, give it a couple of hours and that might be the case, but at the moment I'm not getting that. Oh, the lady wants to cross the road. The tractor wasn't going to stop for the old lady wanting to cross the road. How rude. I'm glad I put my earplugs in. It's definitely a bike that while you're riding it, you would benefit with earplugs. Wow, what a beast. What a beautiful beast of a bike. Easy to throw a leg. go and annoy everybody's quiet contemplation. So I hardly reckon you get 43 miles, I think it was 43 miles per gallon out of this bike. I'm presuming that's riding it conservatively, because with an 1868cc engine, if you're giving it some, that's soon going to get through the fuel. That headlight, I think it looks pretty cool. Seeing it in the flesh, I don't think it looks good in the photos that I've seen. I'm not entirely sold on that headlight, but seeing it now in the flesh, I think it looks a lot better actually. Speedo, which is really quite small. The biggest dial here is just the rev counter. I don't know whether you can see it all properly, but it really, as you're riding, I mean, you'd need an open face helmet for this, which would suit the bike, granted, but I don't like open face helmets. And it's got a gear indicator there. That looks like it might be an info button. Yeah, we'll scroll through that later on and have a look, see what information's on there. So big thank you to my Patreons for supporting the channel. It certainly makes these videos possible. Fuel is ultra expensive now, as you all know, and support that I get from my Patreons goes a long way into making review videos like this possible, because the fuel comes out of my pocket. So thank you to you guys. If you're interested in supporting me on Patreon or through Ko-fi, then check the link in the description. I'm not begging you, I'm just saying. I love this bike. It's so smooth. Everything about this bike is smooth. The clutch is medium weight, I'd say. It's certainly not hard. The seat is very comfy. The suspension is nice, it's plush. That's the best way to describe the suspension. So it's got these, I think they're 47mm cartridge forks on the front. They are non-adjustable cartridge forks on the front. It's also got a monoshock on the rear, which is adjustable for preload only. Do you need to bully it around corners? Not really. These mirrors don't do a lot. I'd swap them for bar ends or the underhanging mirrors. So the tyres as well are these big chunky tyres from Harley-Davidson. Well, I mean, they're Dunlop, but they're branded as Harley-Davidson tyres. Look at that. Doesn't that just look the business? It sounds like a bus starting up. Wow. Let's test the brakes. Rear brake. No, it's not. That's not. From what I'd read, I understood the rear brake wasn't going to be that brilliant. The front brake's really quite good as well. I mean, I don't like reading or hearing other people's reviews on bikes before I take them out myself. I much prefer to form my own opinion. And fourth, it's another bike where, you know, trouble in the gearbox isn't an issue. And it's another bike as well where you just want to take a lazy ride. It's not a racing bike. So out of the two then, I am going to compare it more to the Bobber, because I only got off that on Friday. Today's Monday, and I just did the review video over the weekend. So out of the two, I mean, bear in mind there is a £4,000 price discrepancy as well. Which one would I choose? I think this is winning it up to now, simply because it is just so cool. I love the bobber, don't get me wrong. That is a fantastic bike for 12,100 quid, I think, or 12,185, something like that anyway. But this bike is Harley-Davidson. It's an absolute occasion. You're not trying to tell me that is not a good looking bike. That is a beautiful looking bike. Look at those bloody exhausts. Look, Vance and Hines. They suit it so well, don't they? They really suit it. This came off a tractor. The wheels, so these are Mantis wheels. I think they're 16-inch. I'll go through all the specs in a minute. It's got that beautiful Harley-Davidson lettering in the wheel there. Look, little details like that are really nice. Now, everybody says how rubbish the fit and finish is on Harley-Davidsons. You're not going to level that accusation at this one. This is beautiful. Futurama. Right, let's do a walk around. So folks, there it is. Look at that. This is the 2022 Harley-Davidson Fat Bob with stage 2. So stage 1 is his exhaust. So if you look online at pictures of Fat Bobs, the exhausts aren't that attractive, but these are stonking. They're fantastic. Made by Vance and Hines. They're gorgeous. So it's got the exhaust, it's got that air filter, open air filter, and it's also got the stage 2 bit. So the exhaust and filter are the stage 1 bit, I believe, and it's also been fitted with new cams. So that's the stage 2 bit. So I found a really nice quiet place, which is not far from where I live actually, to come and do this walk around, and it was empty when I got here. Look at that sack of crap. Really detracts, doesn't it? Panda, Harley. Panda, Harley. So let's start with the engine. So this is the Milwaukee 114 cubic inches. It's the Milwaukee 8 V-twin engine. It's a great engine. It's just, everything about this bike is such an occasion. So it's air and oil cooled engine, 8 valves. That's what the 8 refers to in the title, Milwaukee 8. So maximum power 93 brake horsepower, but as I've already said, you know, it's not about the horsepower on this, it's about the torque, and it's the amount of torque that engine produces. 155 newton meters of torque. That's 118 foot-pounds at 3,500 RPM. 93 horsepower at 5,020 RPM. So everything's low down. It's designed for the grunt, the low down grunt. Now normally it would have on as standard the oversized 2-into-1 exhaust, but this has these beautiful Vance and Hines exhaust fitted to it, which is what it needs. It's a Harley Davidson, that's what it needs. Front suspension. So front suspension is these non-adjustable 43mm, I said 47 earlier, still thinking of the Triumph, 43mm inverted cartridge forks with approximately 130mm of travel. So rear suspension, can't see it, I believe it's under the, oh there it is. So just a monoshock, sprung monoshock there. A little bit dirty, been out in the rain, and that is adjustable for preload from this little twisty turny device here. So the wheels, I'll show you the back one because you can just see it a bit better. So these are cast aluminium, Mantis style, according to the Harley-Davidson website. 16-inch wheels with high profile Harley-Davidson branded Dunlop tyres, and they do feel very adequate actually. They're nice, they suit the bike. We don't have a brake light. That's integrated in the indicators, so same as the BMWs now, brake lights integrated into the indicators. Front brakes, very adequate. I'd heard that they're not too good. I found them totally adequate. I mean, it's 300 kilos of steel that you're trying to stop, you know, and everything is steel. I mean, listen to this. Everything is steel. There's no plasticky tat on this at all. So front brakes, twin 300mm discs with 4-piston Harley-Davidson branded calipers. Don't know who makes them. Look at that, straight off a tractor. Everything's just larger than life, isn't it, with Harleys? Rear brake, 292mm single disc with a 2-piston caliper. And it's adequate, you know, used in conjunction with the front, works perfectly well. 6-speed gearbox, bit of a bonkers linkage all the way back there, look, it's beautiful. Look at all the little touches on this. Don't let people tell you that Harley-Davidson fit and finish isn't superb, because this is absolutely superb. Everything. It's a wonderful bike. I'm so impressed with it. Belt drive. Don't know whether you can see that belt down there, look. It's a belt drive, so no chain maintenance on this. Weight is 306 kilos, but with that low slung seat at 710mm, it's really not difficult to move around at all. That headlight is pure Futurama, isn't it? So switch gear is nice. It's a nice switch gear. Indicator on each side. There's one there. There's one there. Self-cancelling indicators. Everything feels nice. Haptic, you know. Haptic, is that even a word? Everything feels nice. It feels tactile. That's a word. And it's got that nice seat. This seat is very comfortable. It is very comfortable. I mean, you're not going to get a pillion on there, are you? But the main seat is nice and comfy. So there's no cruise control. So this is your menu button. Let's power her up and have a look at those. 1200. Oh, 12 o'clock. So the time's not correct. RPM. So it's got a digital RPM as well as, you know, the main RPM up here. I don't know why you'd need both. Yeah, so pretty basic. Pretty basic. It is a back to basics kind of bike. Everything is metal. The cowl around the headlight is metal. Mudguard's metal. Even the wind deflectors are metal. Chunky tyres. Straight off a tractor. Straight off a John Deere. But the attention to detail. You know, don't let anybody tell you that Harleys don't try. Maybe some shiny bolts on there would have been nice. Chromed bolts. And chromed, you know, if it was chromed everywhere, yeah, that'd be nicer, wouldn't it? It'd be sexier. But, you know, I'm not complaining. Harley-Davidson Milwaukee 8. So colour options then, vivid black at the base price, which is what this is. This is the, you know, starting price 6,995. So I was a little bit wrong with my prediction of just over 16,000. It's nearly 17,000. You've then got billiard red at not bilious red, billiard red at plus £350, and deadwood green at plus £350 from the base price as well. Competition in this sector for cruiser style motorbikes like this one, it's really quite fierce. Ducati X Diavel 1260cc from 16,995, BMW R18 with its 1802cc boxer engine from 17,480, and the 2022 Indian Chief Bobber Dark Horse with an 1890cc engine, 116 cubic inches, producing 162 newton meters of torque from 18,095 pounds. Not forgetting the Triumph Bonneville Speedmaster and the Triumph Bonneville Bobber, which was in my last review. They're both around the £12,000 mark, just a little over. And not forgetting the amazing Triumph Rocket 3 2.5 litre bike, starting at £19,500. Plus there's more offerings from Honda in the form of the Fury, the Kawasaki Vulcan, the 2022 Suzuki Boulevard M109R, and the 2022 Yamaha Bolt R Spec. Not R Spec, R Spec. So competition is quite fierce then. But I do like this bike. I mean, this is right up there. For me, I put this above the Bobber. The Triumph Rocket 3, that would be competition for this bike. For me, as far as I'm concerned. Don't know which one I'd go for, to be honest. Which one would you go for? Comments below. Right, let's get back on it, ride it some more. So, I mean, I'm looking at verdicts now. Bear in mind, as I've said, you know, this is a first impressions ride out. This is not a definitive review at all. But it does give me a really good idea as to whether I am going to like a bike, you know, whether I'd want to buy it as well. I mean, it's longer than a test ride in a lot of instances. You only get an hour out on a bike on a lot of instances. This is getting on for 3 hours. And my verdict is that this bike is fabulous. I do love it. And I say it all the time, don't I don't like criticising bikes, and I'm certainly not going to criticise this one. Out of the Bobber and this one wins it for me. It just feels more of an occasion to ride. I loved the Bobber. I thought it was a beautiful bike. Really enjoyed it, but that suspension is really I'm not going to call it any other than rudimentary. It's like anything though, you know, you've got to go out on it yourself to find out whether you'd like it or not, whether you'd prefer it to the Bobber. Go out and try both and see what you think. Jesus! And from second to third, I got a little bobble of the wheel coming off the ground at the front end. That's insane. I think I've left a pile of tarmac back there. And I'm being so gentle with the throttle as well. It's not like I'm whacking the throttle open. I'm being really gentle with the throttle. I will certainly be looking at Harley-Davidsons in a different light in future. I've learnt a hell of a lot this morning taking this bike out. The Fat Bob. Many thanks to Paul and the team at Robin Hood Harley-Davidson in Nottingham for letting me take this bike out and having faith in me and trust in me to do a review on one of their beautiful machines. Thank you guys and girls, if there's any girls working there. Yeah, thank you, it's awesome. So I'll do a quick sign off as we're going over Lady Bay Bridge back into Nottingham. Yeah, thanks for coming with me on the Harley-Davidson, the 2022 Harley-Davidson Fat Bob 1868cc motorcycle from Harley-Davidson. It's been exceptional. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're interested in the Harley-Davidson Fat Bob and you live in Nottingham, get down to Robin Hood Harley-Davidson and have a word with Paul or a member of the team, and I'm sure they'll fix you up with a ride. My name's been Jack Porter. This has been the Moto Mogul channel. Thanks for coming with me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, folks. Really does make this all worthwhile. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks a lot, guys. See you next time. Tiller, looking quite nimble in comparison.